Welcome back to MLG Prizefights presented by BIC Flex4 Razors. Go ahead and give BIC and Flex4 a shout out, guys, for putting together this Prizefights. It's been so fun casting these matches, and now we're going into the third map here between Oz and Marineking as we head into Antigua Shipyard. Wolf, do the honors.
I will do them for you, JP. Over here on the left side of the map, we have our Protoss player from the team FXO. Can he take out his opponent? He's looked a little bit shaky these past two games. He is FXO Oz. And his opponent on the other side of the map in the blue, looking like the best player in the world right now for this matchup at least. It is Marineking from the Team Prime.
Now, you mentioned in the last game that, Marineking could do this one-handed, he could do this blindfolded, he could probably do it with his feet. He knows his timing so well, and it's to speak to that, the first game was 16 minutes, the last game was 17. It seems to be that if it's not parting, every single TVP that Marineking plays finishes around that moment.
Yeah, that's actually a really good observation that you made here, because usually the push hits around 12 to 13 minutes. He just does enough damage to get ahead, and then the second attack just kills his opponent in most cases. And Marineking has just really polished that so well. And if you guys are interested in this attack, this timing attack, watch any VODs of Marineking from any tournament in this matchup and study that, because it's something that isn't even that difficult of a strategy to, or at least the timing isn't that difficult to hit if you practice it. But you have to also notice his micro is so important in these pushes. I mean, he knows exactly where and when to pick up the units in the medevacs. He never misclicks, and it's just something that hardly anyone is doing as well as he is right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, on a tip-top level and in tournaments, he probably has the most experience with this build out of any other player out there. So the question that's been the question for the past two games is, what is Oz going to do to be able to deal with it? In that first game, it seemed like he had won it. It seemed like, okay, Oz is going to be taking game one. There's no way that Marineking can win this. Pulls all his SUVs, and he's like, shut up, JP, I'm going to be able to take game one. You're actually wrong. And now here we are in game three, and he's done it 2 games in a row. I'm trying to think of what Oz can do here. Do you risk it all and maybe go for like a one-base Colossus play or something? Like, I'm very unsure of what Oz does.
Yeah, it's a tough position to be in mentally for Oz at this point, who's been losing so much in this matchup, not only against Marineking. So we will see, and I think that ooh is from the factory that you see, and this is definitely a change of pace for Marineking.
Yeah, so going to be going for either Hellion drop here or Banshee. Does he have 2 gas? No, he only has 1 at the moment. So maybe Cloakless Banshee here, at least one of them coming out in Twilight, or excuse me, Oz going for that 1 gate side core expand. Pretty standard stuff coming out of him, but I'm pretty interested in what Marineking's doing here, because this is something new. You don't see this all the time.
Yeah, this is something you see very rarely, especially not from Marineking. And I think you're right. I think we're going to see just Cloakless Banshee coming out here just to put some pressure on his opponent. He may follow this up with some sort of tank push. It's going to be hard to do that, though, with the factory at this location. So normally when you see Cloakless Banshee, you see it followed up with a tank Banshee Marine push of some kind off of 1 or 2 base. We see a Hellion being produced, though, so it could be a Hellion drop. This could just be for scouting. At this point, it's impossible to say exactly what the plan is for Marineking here, but it looks like it's going to be Banshees.
And here comes the second Hellion. He's going to need to make that tech lab pretty soon. It's actually supply blocked, so that second Hellion still has not begun producing. And, okay, there goes the depot finishing. So, is a dropship going to... Yeah, so he's going for a Hellion drop here. Okay.
Yeah,
Not
this
something
is...
you see too much?
Yeah, the fact that he proxied a factory is weird enough, but the fact that he's going to follow it up with the Hellion drop is even weirder. He's not going to bring his Marines with this. He's just purely going to use Hellions in this drop, and it looks like he's going to go with 3 if he goes right when this medevac pops out. He could wait for a 4th one, though. Either way will be effective, though, because Oz has very few units out right now. In fact, he skipped Zealot and Stalker to make a Sentry. The next 3 units that Oz warps in with these 3 warp gates that are finishing are going to change the game for him very drastically.
And we are still looking for those. Here comes the drop, as, he might just be waiting to see what's coming, but Hellions are down, Phillips are doing their best to run, and here comes 2 Stalkers. So Oz making the right decision and waiting for as long as possible with those with those warp gates, and that is going to be cleaned up, but it looks like Marineking's not done just yet.
No, he's not. He's just continuing this drop play, and he's already killed a lot of workers, 8 in total, taking out a few more here. And he saved the Hellions at first. Will he get them out now? It looks like no. This time Oz's building placement, perhaps coincidentally, perhaps intentionally, blocks the Hellions out, and so he gets a total of 10 workers. That's a pretty good trade for him.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's continued to build Hellions, so he's not over with this attack. He's actually throwing down 2 command centers back at home, so double expansion here for Marineking, possibly taking the would-be third base right south of him if he was in that position. So that's going to be pretty interesting if he's able to get that up. And if he is, we're going to see a huge, huge attack, probably around the same timing that he always does.
Yeah, that's very true. Something to note is that even though his harassment was fairly effective, the worker count is still in Oz's favor. He's had 2 bases up for longer, and he has the Robo up that is, you know, basically gives him a tech advantage over his opponent. So even though he lost some with that attack, he's slightly ahead right now. So Marineking is doing the right choice in double expanding here. He knows that in most ways he's behind, so he has to do this double expand to kind of push things one step further. But as a result, he's going to be behind in tech, and Oz could capitalize on that when he scouts this with the Observer.
So we see right now Oz actually going and trying to take out this factory, which was lifted. Starport is all the way up north, like you were just mentioning. There goes the orbital over at the natural. The third is about to finish. Will he just keep that in base, or will he lift it? We will soon find out. There's a double engineering bay as well. So right now, we'll see what Oz is up to as he's pushing across the map here. He does have another gateway being added on. No other tech, though, just going up to 4 gates.
Yeah, you know, if he scouts that third command center with his Observer, he may want to, he can see it now, he may want to go for a Colossus push to punish for that. There is an armory going down now, and gases are being taken at the natural. It looks like the Observer may be scanned and taken out here, barely escapes. But I think Oz, yeah, there's the robotic support bay. It's absolutely a choice he needs to make right now, because there's no way he can take a Nexus safely as a third base and catch up. He's so behind as far as economy goes. He needs to put some pressure on, and the Colossus is the best way.
So with this armory going down, he wants to get a very quick 2-2. Is he gonna actually, he's not gonna add on a Thor or anything. His factory fell early on. So what is the reasoning for this early armory, Wolf?
I'm not sure. It seems to be that he wanted to get 2-2 upgrades out very quickly, but he just does not have, you know, the timing seems a little bit too early for that. So I think something went a little bit weird with that armory timing. What I really like about this Colossus idea here is that he just knows that even if he doesn't kill his opponent, he can pressure him with the Colossi, because Vikings are not going to be out. He knows the starport was floated away. It was in the middle of the map, something crazy like that. So he knows there is no way he's been producing Vikings in time, and he's going to need medevacs, so he can't even go straight into Vikings when he lands. So it's a position where he knows, hey, I'm going to hit with the Colossi with no Vikings opposing me. It should be able to put a lot of pressure on, should do some damage.
There was a handful of Hellions that got into the natural. They ended up scoring 7 more probe kills. So now probe count is 42 to 44 with Marineking taking the lead here. And once again, here comes that starport, or that reactored starport. Those medevacs are going to be coming out pretty soon. Stem about to finish. Combat shield about halfway, and 1-1. Very, very close to being finished as well. The Colossus is out on the map. You see Double Forge going down, getting the +1 upgrades, as well as the Twilight Council, but I don't know. I mean, we see another Immortal coming out. It's an okay choice. Would you have gone for, at this point in the game, it's probably the better choice, because he is going to have Vikings out pretty soon.
Yeah, you know, the Immortal is not the choice I expected to see, but I think it's kind of cool. I think what he wants to do, based on his pylon positioning here and how you know, his army composition is, I think he kind of wants to poke at add-ons and things like that with the Colossus for vision, of course, with Observers as well. Marineking is stimming forward here with some of his Marines, trying to get a look at what his opponent is up to. He's going to be chased away, but this is a tough position for both players, because any micro mistake that one or both players makes will change the game drastically. But Oz is really the one who's on a time bomb. He's the one who's basically got like a time bomb strapped to his chest. He has to attack soon, or he's just going to lose this game, because Marineking just has a better economy. His tech is caught up now. He's ahead in upgrades. He's got 2-2 on the way. He's getting even +1 for his Vikings.
Yeah, and he's starting to queue up the Vikings as well, which might work in Oz's favor if he overcommits to that Viking count. We see a lot of Immortals coming out, then that will definitely be a win, at least in that regard. But Here's the third base going up for Oz. Charge started as well, 1-1 about to be finished, and the Twilight, excuse me, the Templar Archives has been started as well. We'll see if he goes for just the pure Archon or if he tries to get Storm out.
Yeah, I think at this point Storm would be the best choice because it's something he's going to need. It looks like he's basically given up on doing that Colossus pressure. He knows his opponent has enough out now. He knows the Vikings are here. The army size from Marineking is really large. He needs some sort of tech like Storm to kind of change the tide, and the Colossus tech was a good idea, it just wasn't the time. I don't like the idea to fight here. I don't think he has enough. He's going to try anyways. The Colossus barely escaping death, but the force fields are decent. It slows Marineking down, but he lost so much.
The control there by Oz, he led that army basically with the Colossus as if it was just saying, hey, go ahead and kill me, I'm just going to give you this Colossus. That's basically what MKP did there. Even though he did have to fall back because of these warp-ins from Oz, that fight definitely went in MKP's favor. And it is going to be pretty hard now for Oz to really do anything, as the supply difference is 108 to 142. We see even the Ghost Academy coming down. He is starting to warp in some High Templars, but Marineking's on the way across the map.
Yeah, this push is looking really, really scary. The army supply, 93 to 64. He has basically 30% more army in here, and Oz may get caught. Indeed, he will. As Zealots, most of them at the back. He does have some Templar out. I think he tried to scare Marineking with them, but there was no Storm. He's now making the Archon, but Marineking is torn through the majority of the army. Even these Vikings can now land to participate if he wants them to, and JP, can't anyone stop this guy?
I do not know. Good game. 3-0 now for Marineking. Daybreak's the next map. It seems like no matter what Oz does, no matter what any Protoss does, Marineking just has an answer for it. So as we head into game 4, we'll see if Oz has an answer or if Marineking's just going to take this $750 thanks to BIC and just 4-0 Oz. We'll find out right after this break, guys. Don't go anywhere.